is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you out a quick video. We're going to talk about PJ Tucker potentially getting an extension. Him and the Houston Rockets right now are working on the extension. This is a guy that got $32 million, I believe, on his last extension. This is a guy that fits perfectly with James Harden, a guy that doesn't whine, doesn't complain about getting touches, doesn't whine and complain about if he shoots 10 shots, if he shoots 0 shots. This is a guy that shot 36% for a career from three-point line. This is a guy that's tough. He can switch and guard multiple positions. He's a decent rebounder for his size. He's actually undersized for the power forward position, but it doesn't matter because of his work ethic, his hungriness, his toughness, and his physicality. He can guard multiple positions, and that's valuable in the NBA, and that's one of the reasons why Daryl Morey went out and got PJ Tucker is because of his versatility and his ability to play off the ball. It did kind of hurt him a little bit knowing that he can't create his own shot and he couldn't really be more of a threat off the ball because of his lack of being able to do anything else besides shoot a spot up three. But when you look at this team and you see Russell, James, you know that the offense is going to go through one of them majority of the time, and you need guys that's willing to sacrifice. You need guys that's willing to take less shots for the betterment of the system. And PJ Tucker has done that throughout his whole career, and he has played 82 games the last 2 seasons, which is impressive. And he has played 81 games a couple of seasons in his career, showing that he can be healthy and he does show up to work and he does come to play. And that's one thing I like about PJ Tucker too. He's a competitive guy. He goes out there, tries and plays hard, and he does what the team needs him to do, and he's willing to do that for winning. And the Houston has basically made it a home for him, as he has been a guy that came up in trade rumors and he's still on the roster, and now he's saying that he does want to be in Houston. He's ready to sign an extension, which is pretty nice that him and Daryl Morey is on the same page. Now they just got to get the numbers right. And I wanted to ask the subscribers, how much money do you think that PJ Tucker is worth? Do you think he's an $8 million player? Do you think he's a $10, $12 million player? Do you think they should give him the 3 years or the 4 years, or do you think they should go with a shorter term deal, like a 2-year deal, give him a player option or a team option, because he is getting older. He isn't the same player that he used to be, but he still is a guy that can contribute, and he still is a solid starter on a great team because of his ability to impact defensively while also being a great three-point shooter off the ball. I mean, this is a guy that just gave you 7.3 points and 5.8 rebounds, and he played 34 minutes a game, and he played 27 minutes last year. I mean, the season before, and he has had a great impact, and his teammates love playing with him and playing with him on the court because he's a vocal leader too on the court. And this is a guy that's 34 years old, so you don't want to overpay him because, I mean, years-wise, you don't want to give him too many years because he is getting older, and that decline kind of showed last year. But I still think he does have a lot more left in the tank. You're not really asking him to do much offensively. You're just asking for him to be able to do what he does best, which is play defense and just play within the system. So I think that PJ Tucker is a valuable commodity still in this league. He had some interest this whole season as he was in some trade rumors, but they never really materialized to anything. And he ended up staying on this roster, and it seems like they want to keep him. Daryl Morey did have some headlines where he has said that he wanted to make some changes. He did fire some of the coaching staff. He did change a little bit of the personnel, like getting rid of Chris Paul and getting Russell Westbrook. A lot of people feel that Russell Westbrook is a guy that is better than Chris Paul at this point in his career, but nobody's really talking about the Rockets as a legitimate contender, even though they just upgraded to some people their point guard spot and got one of the top 12 players in the world, and Russell Westbrook, a guy that's been a walking triple-double, and he has been an MVP and a guy that has averaged over 30 points a game before and became a scoring champion twice And on top of that, he has been the MVP and led a team to the playoff multiple times as the best player on the season. I mean, best player on the team. Even though you can make the argument that Paul George was the best player on the team last year, but before that, he led one to the team with just Victor Oladipo and Steven Adams. So that's how great Russ has been, and that's how great Harden has been because he hasn't missed the playoffs since he went to Houston, and he's the guy that has averaged over 30 points twice and has won the MVP and multiple scoring titles and has made it to the Western Conference Finals twice as the best player on the team, which is hard to do. And they actually was up 3-2 on the Warriors before they lost, so he had one game, one quarter, 5 minutes away from being in the NBA Finals with a chance to dethrone the Warriors and win a championship in Houston, something that he has not done yet. And he didn't even make it to the Western Conference Finals last year, which was unfortunate. But they did play the Warriors, and they did go 2-2 before losing two straight games and getting eliminated. I know that James Harden. I know James Harden personally, and this is a year that he's very hungry. We have seen James Harden have his two best seasons these last 2 years. He have came back better. He has came back with different mentalities. He had came back with knowing that he had something to prove to the point where they won 65 games just 2 years ago. And I think that this is going to be one of them seasons that he got the running mate. He got the guy he wants to play with. This is what he wanted. Daryl Morey was able to make it happen. And now it's just about getting it done. And I think this is a season we're going to see James Harden and Russell Westbrook really just go out there and try to obliterate people and show that they are legitimate contenders and take a lot of people um, change a lot of people's perspective and mind about this team. Most people think that this team isn't going to work because of Westbrook, and they don't think they're going to really fit. But I always say great players have a way of figuring it out, especially when they've been dying and wanting to play with each other again. And on top of that, they are two of the best players in the world, and they do have the great supporting class with Glenn Capella being the guy that can roll to the basket and finish, and also having shooters like Daniel House, Austin Rivers, and PJ Tucker. This team is a team that's very versatile. They can guard multiple positions. They have the size, they have the athleticism, they have the shooting, they have everything you basically need to be a legitimate team in the Western Conference. And they really have no excuse for them not to be one of the best teams in the entire NBA. And they should be in that championship conversation because they was with it with Chris Paul. And if they're going to upgrade Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook, then they should even be in that conversation even more. Even though teams like the Clippers and the Lakers and some other team the Portland Trail Blazers and the Denver Nuggets have gotten better, you can also make the same argument that um, the Rockets have stayed with their main core and have only got more talented and they brought more people back. With the Rockets, this is one of the deepest teams in the NBA. And they have been like that for the last couple of years. They continue to find ways to get talent on the bargain. They continue to find ways to clear roster spots and get talent throughout the season. And they're not scared to make good trades. They're not scared to take risks. And trading Chris Paul for Westbrook was a risk already, and they took that as it came as a first opportunity. They always want to be in the mix, and they always want to take a gamble because you never know, it might pay off and win you a title. And that's one thing that they have done with Russell Westbrook by him making so much money and him only getting older. His play has declined the last 2 years, and I really want to see if he's going to be re-motivated. Is going to be reinvigorated because he's playing with James Harden. He has a chance to legitimately win the title, or is he going to go to a role where he's going to do less just for the benefit of the team, keep everybody active, keep everybody involved, or are we going to see the Russell Westbrook when he averaged 30 just going out there being in attack mode, trying to take everybody out, and we're going to have to see how him and James Harden really mesh as they have played well together in OKC, but the team is just a whole totally different build than what they had at OKC. Even though they do have some similarities, the teams are basically nothing really alike. So it's going to be adjustment just by playing for different teams. Russell Westbrook has never played with this many shooters. This is basically a perfect fit for Russell Westbrook. Honestly, when it comes to how the team is built and what their goal is, but also is a perfect team for James Harden, and he has shown that the last 5 years as they have never missed the playoffs since he's been there. And Daryl Morey has been known to tweak the roster and been willing to change the roster, and also been willing to make moves throughout the entire season until he's satisfied with the roster going into the playoffs. And that's the type of GM that you want, because that's one that's all in on winning. And that's what you need to be when you have James Harden and Russell Westbrook in their 30s on massive contracts. Your margin for error is only so much. And then you also got to put in that they paid Clint Capella a lot of money too, and they're committed to him now that they have paid him that money. So they have a lot of things going right. They have a lot of things that can blow up. They have a lot of things that can be great. But PJ Tucker signed an extension for 2 to 3 years would be perfect. Is he worth $8 million? Is he worth $12 million? Let me know how much you think PJ Tucker is worth. Let me know if you think the Rockets are legitimate contenders. Will they be pretenders? Will they blow up? Will they obliterate? Let me know how you guys think the Rocket season is going to go. Let me know how much money you think PJ Tucker is really worth. And let me know if James Harden and Russell Westbrook can coincide with one another and do it for the sacrifice and the benefit of winning the title. Something that Russell and James Harden hasn't done, but they have come together and joined forces to get it done right now with the Houston Rockets. And they came close, but they had KD. Now they don't have KD, but they have the great, perfect role players that fit both of their styles, and they both playing their best basketball to a certain extent these last 3 years. So they both in a prime, is what I'm saying, and they really have no reason not to be great unless they just can't knock down shots or they just get in each other's way, which is a great possibility. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies, I break down players, I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.